And we welcome you back to the Moretz Sports Complex in this presentation of the South Atlantic Conference on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Two of the top four teams in the SAC about to do battle tonight as the regular season champion Carson-Newman Eagles come to town to take on the 21st ranked, back in the top 25, Lenoir-Rhyne Bears on senior night in the regular season finale here in Hickory. Eric Bach and Jacob Parkinson, so happy that you are along with us. Just saw the LR women take a win, a 3-2 win over Carson-Newman to secure a top 4 seed and a home game in the first round of the SAC tournament. And Jacob, the Bears can do the exact same thing here with a win, but it certainly will not be easy with the SAC regular season champions Carson-Newman, who have lost once since September 4th. Coming in tonight.
Yeah, like you say, Carson-Newman, we all know how much of a good team they are. So the Bears will just be looking to get out there. It's a positive that they got it at home today, the game. So hopefully they can take some of the energy from the crowd if they decide to turn up and hopefully get a result out of this game. But like you say, it's not going to be an easy result at all for the Bears. And
it's senior night tonight. 6 seniors will be honored after the game tonight. But Carson-Newman's coming off a big 2-0 win over number 11 Limestone. Those are probably the top 3 teams in the SAC right there. Carson-Newman, Lenoir-Rhyne, and Limestone. So Carson-Newman ends with kind of a murderer's row here. They played Limestone at home and obviously traveling tonight, but this will be the last regular season home game for Victor Cascone, and I think, Jacob, that the rest of the SAC is going to be very happy to see him go.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. We've seen how dangerous Cascone can be, especially in moments where they've needed him, the Lenoir-Rhyne. He's come up with goals, important goals as well, at the end of matches. So he'll be missed, definitely. And he's been a regular in that sort of SAC Offensive Player of the Week.
And the Bears are playing their best right now. They just took a 2-0 win over Wingate here on Saturday night. They have the reigning SAC Offensive Player of the Week, not Cascone, Nico Bohiguis, who scored the first goal in that game on Saturday night. Also assisted on the Jaime DeManuel game winner against Chowan. So Bears are getting hot at the right time. They're finally healthy. They got their goalkeeper back, Juan Basabe. They got Carlos Montaleo Lobo back, who's a stalwart in the midfield. And most everyone else is back and healthy, so Jack Winter's Bears are playing well at the right time, getting healthy at the right time, still very much in the hunt for an NCAA at-large bid if they're not able to win the SAC tournament.
Yeah, and I think, like you say, it's come just at the right time for them. They come off a run of a few bad results away from home, and recently they've got their turn of form and they've got a few wins in, so hopefully that'll get them over the line today.
We've seen others getting into the scoring act in Noah Tiefel's absence. He's not available tonight, but he will be available, we think, moving forward after tonight, heading into the postseason. He leads the Bears in goals with 7. Cascone has 5, but there's a smattering of others. Danny Fernandez got his first goal of the year. Jaime DeManuel, I mentioned, the winner. Harry Rowe's been scoring and setting up. And I think, Rowe as a freshman on that outside wingback has really been a facilitator for this Bear offense, especially of late.
Definitely. Rowe and also Benny Genizer on the other side. A lot of the Bears' play comes from just getting it out wide and putting it into the box. We saw a little bit of a different style of play on, was it Wednesday, the Bears? No, it's Wednesday today.
Yeah, it was Saturday night.
On Saturday, when they were sort of going a bit more direct, a bit more central. But I think today they'll go back to their regular style of play, which is sticking it out wide to them fullbacks and getting crosses into the box early.
Carson-Newman is led by Benjamin Stein with 11 goals. One of the leading scorers in the SAC, but they're a team that they've beaten good teams. They've only lost, as I mentioned, once since September 4th. That was a few Saturdays ago in double overtime against Anderson. So it's a Carson-Newman team that obviously has won the SAC championship. They have secured the 1 seed. That's actually Silva that has 11 goals, not Benjamin Stein. Tylan Silva is the leading scorer, the senior from Brazil, wears number 10. He will be the focal point tonight. He's right there. You see him on the edge of the circle. Carson-Newman in there. You call those dark gray?
The kit, dark grey. I would call it black.
Yeah. Graphite, black. Either way, the Bears are in their home whites. But to finish my point, Carson-Newman obviously still playing for seeding purposes and everything like that in the NCAA tournament, but the Bears may be a little bit more to play for tonight, so we'll see how that dynamic plays out, because Carson-Newman, as I mentioned, has already secured the number 1 seed in the SAC tournament.
Exactly, so they played for everything they need to play for, so they might take their eye off the ball, or they could, try and keep that record running and try and get another result today.
So we are underway.
I think the Bears know how much of a good team this Carson-Newman team is, but also they are there for the taking. Like you said the other day, they won in double overtime. That's got to be, it's going to fatigue the players as well. So we'll see how it goes for the Bears today, but as long as they don't underestimate the team, I think they're in with a good chance. They have a good home record, so we'll see.
Yeah, Bears haven't lost at home since the Limestone game. That was quite a while, or since the Catawba game, rather. That was at the beginning of October, so it's been about a month since the Bears have fallen here. Carson-Newman actually lost their first 2 games of the season to Lee and Shorter on a Thursday-Saturday weekend, and then rattled off a bunch of wins in a row. Lost the 1 game to Anderson, so they are 11-3 overall, 9-1 in the conference, and come in on a 4-game winning streak.
And like I mentioned before, it was that run of about, I think it was like 3 games away from home for the Bears,
and
that
it was
really
win, lose, and draw against maybe against the lower third of the league. A tie against Tusculum was the one that was maybe the worst, but
yeah.
The Bears have certainly returned to form in these 2 home wins over Chowan and Wingate, giving up just 1 goal in those 2.
I think the win against Chowan was a massive confidence boost as well.
Turning point for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I talked with Jack Winter, if our viewers were around for the women's game. Jack Winter came on with me during halftime of that game, and he was very complimentary of Carson-Newman, but he said that they themselves have just been much more fine-tuned. They've found their form. Their quality's been better, and they've gotten healthier. I mean, that's, at the end of the day, health is maybe the most important factor.
Exactly, and there was a lot of injuries as well, like you say, so getting over them injuries, getting them players back. Like you listed before, the amount of players that were out injured this season has been quite a lot for the Lenoir-Rhyne.
The main one, Basabi's been back. This is his 4th game back after he got hurt in preseason training, but Monteleo Lobo, who is such a factor right in the middle of that Bear offense, got the assist on Cascone's goal, which was the 2nd goal the other night. Carlos hit the crossbar, and Victor was right there to put it home with a header.
Am I right in saying that Xavi Moyo was also injured for?
He was.
Yeah,
yep.
I thought he was.
There have been several Bears that have missed time. Tiefel at the beginning of the year was hurt. The Bear starters, Danny Fernandez, Miguel Montano, Harry Rowe, Victor Cascone, Jaime DeManuel, Carlos Monteleo Lobo, who's on the ball right here, Jaime Poza, Diego Delgado, Nico Bohiguis, and Xavi Moya all get the start. This ball is in to Poza, and it's grabbed out of there by Carson-Newman. But Xavi ends up with it. The neon green spikes. Here's a center from Rowe. It's loose in front. The keeper's down. But Carson-Newman's able to get out of it. The keeper for Carson-Newman is Bram Karsgaren, who is two-time SAC Defensive Player of the Week this year. Actually picked up an assist on a goal earlier this year. And a long pass that ended up in the back of the net a couple of touches later for Carson-Newman. We have our first foul of the game. This one is on Silva, who can't believe it.
I wonder if the Bears will implement sort of man marking on Silva today, because you mentioned before how many goals he's scored for Carson-Newman.
Yep, 11 this year in 14 games.
It wouldn't surprise me if someone like Travis Moyer was to sort of just stick on him when the Bears are out of possession.
That's Montano on the ball there, graduate student. Ball to LR. Harry Rowe right there, the Welshman, who has 5 assists on the year in addition to a goal. 5 assists leads the Bears.
And he's head-to-head against the Englishman today, Ben King.
This is in on net, right in front, but Carson-Newman able to get it out for now. Cascone on it. So we're 6 minutes in. At this point in the women's game, Carson-Newman had already scored. They got their first goal of the game at the 6-minute mark, and then Bears had 3 unanswered before Carson-Newman added 1 in the second half to make things interesting, but LR holds on to host on Saturday. Regular season, hard to believe the regular season is already done after tonight. The fall season slowly creeping to an end here. Chasing that one in for Carson-Newman is Yannick Schulte, German midfielder. Tried to pass it over, and it ends up to the first corner of the game to the Eagles. These two met in, well, this is the first meeting between these two, since 2019. They didn't play in the spring because they were in different pods during the COVID spring. Ball coming in and headed off the end line that time by Eric Schmutzer, Austrian defender. Basabi will take the goal kick with some pressure from the Eagles. It's Jaime Poza there with the neon pink shoes. Also has 5 assists. He and Rowe share the team lead with 5 assists. Nice left-footed ball in there from Montano. Perfectly placed to Rowe.
That was a very good ball over the top to Rowe. He just couldn't quite. Had a lot of pressure on him from the right back there.
Montano is a guy that wasn't like an everyday starter as this ball's in, and Basabi comes out to poke it away. Good read there by Juan, who's been really finding his footing as Poza turns it over. This is Silva, one of the most dangerous guys in the SAC, gets fouled. Not sure about that one. Didn't look like a whole lot of contact, but Silva gets the call outside the box, and a good set-piece chance here for Carson-Newman to strike first early.
That was risky play from Basabi coming out that deep before, but came up with a good challenge in the end. This is good shooting range. Not too far away, not too close.
Especially for a guy like Silva, assuming he's the one that takes it. See the wall there on the right side of your screen.
And this is about the distance that most players would choose to have it from if they could choose.
Silva will take it with the left foot, and it gets blocked by the Bear wall. And then again, Fernandez right there for that one. Silva not offside, they say, but Basabe comes out to get it, so it doesn't matter. Carson-Newman head coach Stephen Lyons is in his 5th year. It's 1-4 against LR. Bears have won the last 2 in this series and 4 out of the last 5. But like I said, haven't met since 2019. But reunited tonight under the lights on a very chilly Wednesday night. Certainly feels like November here in Hickory. About 45 degrees right now, but calm, not much wind. This would be so much worse if the wind was blowing. This is like home weather for you, Jacob.
Yeah, the temperature's dropped so much today.
It was fairly warm during the day today.
I don't know about that.
Well, I think it got into the high 50s, low 60s at one point, but man, it really did drop off.
6 a.m. practice was not
not
enjoyable.
Well, it probably wasn't 60 degrees then.
No. Cold and dark.
You runners, man, get up at that hour of the day to go run. You have to have a little bit of a screw loose, I think.
Well, not by choice.
Basabe out of his box there, got challenged. A lot of pressure being put on by the Eagles here early. They give it to Carson-Newman after some hesitation there by the linesman down there.
I think what will be key for LR today is just keeping the ball and keeping possession of the ball and not letting Carson-Newman bully them really and pressure them off the ball. If they can keep the ball, look comfortable in possession, then the opportunities will come.
This ball is very deep in the corner. Silva's down there, but he keeps it in. Bears get their last 3 of the regular season at home. Here's the reigning SAC Offensive Player of the Week. His pass to Cascone, not good enough. That was Bohiguez.
That was a great touch from Bohiguez, just to take it around that Carson-Newman player.
Now Cascone tiptoeing the far side. Obviously, we've talked on previous broadcasts about the heavy Spanish influence. Almost called them the Spanish Armada the other day. This heavy presence from Spain, but this weather can't be too native to them.
No.
Montelio Lobo goes down in a heap, and that is not a good sign. He was nursing a groin, but holding his ankle.
Doesn't look as if he's...
No, it's not the groin.
There.
It's definitely not the groin. He immediately took a false step and ended up down.
Well, he's back on his feet now.
I think it maybe was just a little bit more of a scare for him.
Yeah,
Somebody coming off injury. But seems to be okay. So we're just under 15 minutes in here. Not a ton of great chances either way, but I would say so far Carson-Newman has possessed it a little better here through the first 15 or so.
Carson-Newman have looked a little bit more confident, yeah. But I think the Bears have started all right, actually, considering, you know, Carson-Newman are a strong side. They've not looked too intimidated. They just need to have a little bit more control on the ball when they have it and take their opportunities a bit better.
Victor Cascone, the reigning SAC Offensive Player of the Year. 3 game-winning goals this year out of his 5, so he's just as clutch as they come. a fight there on the sideline, and it stays with the Bears. And there's Nico Bohiguis.
You look how wide Harry Rowe stays throughout the whole attack when it's on the right-hand side. It just stretches out that defence so much. And if that right back comes up tight to him, then it just opens up a massive gap on that right-hand side.
An interesting note about Carson-Newman is they're undefeated this year, 6-0, when they have the lead at halftime. So the first goal, we've talked on the last few broadcasts about the next goal, Jacob, but maybe the first one is the most important one today.
Definitely, and when you have a stat like that, if you know that at halftime, if you're winning, you're 6-0, it's a massive psychological boost. So hopefully the Bears can get that first goal and then sort of maintain control from there, but you don't want to be going down in the first half to these.
Wednesday night here in Hickory on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Eric Bach and Jacob Parkinson. A little bit sad, Jake. This will be our last game together this year.
I know, it's gone too quickly. I've never known a soccer season to go so quickly.
Right? It feels like the months of September and October just evaporated.
I know. I just don't know. I've never known of a 2-month soccer season. Or is it 3 months or 2 months?
Starts in the beginning of September, and the regular season is about 2 months, yeah.
Wow.
Postseason play goes into the next weekend as the corner from Carson-Newman ends up on top of the net. The season is definitely a sprint rather than a marathon.
Definitely. 2 months in soccer terms is not a long time at all.
No.
With the amount of games you're cramming into that as well.
If the Bears win, hopefully Jacob will be here Saturday. But you've got the biggest event of your season. Jacob's a member of the cross-country and track team here at LR, running in the NCAA Regional this weekend down in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Yep, that'll be interesting. 10K rather than 8K.
Yeah, that's a little different for you, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm used to running 10Ks back home, but I don't know. I've not run a 10K cross-country in a long time. I have ran a few 10K cross-countries back home, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Might be interesting.
So swipe there by Bohiguis, and maybe a counter here for the Bears as Cascone's got it on the far side. Victor with some space and some fancy footwork, but runs into a wall of, I'm going to go with you, some black jerseys. Now Harry Rowe, on the touchline near side. Middle to Poza, not a great pass to Cascone, and he has to fight for it. Comes up with it, but just too many black jerseys around him. We're still TBA about whether or not we'll have women's soccer head coach Gary Higgins at halftime here, but we hope so, to talk about his team's 3-2 win over these Eagles.
It was an impressive win with some good goals as well.
It was the first half was a blur. 4 goals. Lots of big scramble plays for the Bears. Gary Higgins said after the game that it was just a scrappy offensive performance for them, but one that they needed after only scoring 1 goal in the last 2 games coming in. But to get 3.5 has to really boost their offensive confidence as they head into their postseason, still fighting for a at-large bid as well.
And they're back here at the weekend, aren't they?
They are. They secured a home game in round 1, as the men are trying to do here today. Less than 20 minutes into this first half. Pretty evenly matched game so far, Jake. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so. There's not been any real chances for either side, to be honest. It's just been a game of possession up to this point. I can't really think of a chance that's been created by either side. It's been both sides have been good defensively, but I would say both sides, they've not been good enough creatively, and that's why we've not seen any opportunities so far. We should have seen a chance in this first 20 minutes at least.
The one close call for LR was when Basabi came out of his box to the edge of the 18.
Yeah. You see stuff like that quite a bit with Basabi. He's very confident. He takes quite a few risks, but it often pays off for him. So
take from Montano there. And Bram Karsgaren, senior 6'7" goalkeeper from the Netherlands.
Like two of me.
I mean, he is a load out there. 6'7", listed at 216 pounds. Certainly can cover more ground than a lot of keepers, just by sheer height.
Exactly, and that wingspan as well.
That's right. Harry Rowe with a chance. Centered up. Posa over. And Cascone pops it over and is distraught.
That could have been harder to miss.
Victor got set up there by Posa perfectly. I think the ball maybe got on him a little quicker than he was expecting.
Yeah, he didn't have time to set himself.
Yeah.
He had to, in fairness to him, it was on an awkward height for him because he had to bring his foot up to about hip height quickly, where, you know, he could have just
tried to get it in with his torso, maybe, but I think the ball got onto him too quick before he had time to process that.
Exactly, yeah. That's better, though, from the Bears. That's better. That was a good ball in by Harry Rowe in the first instance. And this is what they need to do, just control possession. Make them pressure. Make Carson-Newman come to them.
This one off the head of Ben King, Englishman senior defender. One of the anchors of that Carson-Newman D.
He looks taller than 5'10" to me.
Well, I mean, Karsgaren looks about 6'10" from over here. Harry Rowe keeps this one on his foot and sets up a corner as King knocks it out. See what the Bears do. They've had a little bit of different strategy of late on the corners. They just pass it short into one of the strikers, and then the second ball goes in towards the net. Posa takes it, goes in off the head of a defender. Montilio Lobo keeps possession for LR. Back to Rowe. This ball is in the net! Danny Fernandez, out of nowhere, gets his second of the year.
We mentioned about the Bears getting the first goal and not letting Carson-Newman take the lead in the first half, and that's exactly what they've done. Hopefully now they can just hold out until the end of this half and then get another goal in the second half.
All of the sudden, the Bears cannot be stopped offensively, especially here at home as we take a look at the Spangler replay. Fernandez, who could not buy a goal early on in the year, gets the assist from Poza and gets it past Karsgarin on the left post. All the replays on the Bears Sports Network presented by Smangler Restoration, but wow.
Wasn't an easy opportunity as well. There's quite a crowd of black shirts in that box. Just managed to squeeze it through into that bottom left corner.
Ferdinand the Bull, that's Danny's nickname, gets the first one of the night, one that we said was maybe the most important one. This one stays with Carson-Newman.
Here's Silver on the ball. He's been quite quiet tonight, considering we were talking about him earlier being the top goal scorer for Carson-Newman.
Yeah, he had a couple of chances early as this one's in the middle, and now a chance for Carson-Newman. What a play that was by Fernandez to get into the grill
and as I
of
say,
Yannick Schulte.
He puts the ball into the
I know.
box.
Yeah, you are getting good at the old announcer curse, my friend. You had a couple of those the other night.
I know.
So Basabe helped out by his center back Fernandez there, both offensively and defensively, but that first goal for LR, so important. And they get it. Cascone lets it go, back to LR. Good ball there by DeManuel. But was Poza offside there? He was, yes. Bears back into the United Soccer Coaches top 25, coming in at number 21 this week. Carson-Newman surprisingly not ranked. SAC champions.
That is a surprise. You'd think being the SAC champions, you would at least have a rank.
The Bears do have maybe a couple more impressive wins, and we have Poza down, and the referee telling the guys to back up, but he's going to have a talk here with Greg Evans, the Welshman, redshirt senior. He's going to hold on to the card, I think, but that's a pretty stern talking to there from the referee.
I think it was borderline yellow card, but the referees just decided to give him a talking to rather than booking him.
Haven't had much chippiness, so I think that's probably the right call to keep the card in his pocket.
Exactly. If he can officiate like this for the whole game, then I don't see any problems with it.
Bohiguis with some fancy footwork there on the far side. Down goes Silva, and now the card comes out. Is this on Montano, you think?
I'm not too sure. I don't understand why there's a card for this challenge and not the last.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. If you're not going to card the last one, then you can't card this one.
Yellow card given to number 4, Miguel Montano of the Bears.
So at the 18-minute mark in the first half, Montano gets the yellow. First booking of the game either way. Silva. Back to Ben King. Here comes the ball in towards Basabi. Up he goes, and he keeps it out. A big challenge there. Believe that was Schulte that was right on top of him. It was Yannick Schulte. Actually, I stand corrected. That's number 5, Harry Whitehead. 5 and 6 on these jerseys look pretty similar. Whitehead's got 5 goals on the year. Junior from Oxford. That's Oxford, England, not Mississippi.
The better Oxford.
But I think you probably knew that. Danny Fernandez, the one crooked number on the scoreboard. And finally found the back of the net on this homestand. First against Chowan, and now here tonight against Carson-Newman. Another ball in, off the head of Fernandez and on top of the goal, but I think the Bears were offside either way. They were.
There's been a lot more pressure on the Bears since that goal, but you expected that from Carson-Newman to put more pressure on, to keep the ball a bit more, create a few more chances. But the Bears have still looked quite comfortable. They've not shaken them too much. So they just need to see this half through, and then come out the second half strong as well.
16 minutes even to go. Jack Winter in his big long parka down there, pointing and yelling.
Entering for Carson-Newman, number 7, Nick Crash. Exiting number 21, Tim Bersheli.
Nick Karsh comes in, senior from Newburgh, Oregon for Carson-Newman. Could you point out Oregon on a map, Jacob?
I could try. Probably not, no. Could you point out Oxford on a map?
I could get in the general vicinity,
Yeah.
so I guess we're about the same. Nice nifty move there by Montaleo Lobo, who leaves it ahead for Cascone.
Could be
Ooh,
offside here,
offside,
yeah.
barely.
Yeah.
Victor,
Just needed to hold that run a little bit, and he was wide open.
he was. That ball is likely in the back of the net if he's onside. Lots of pressure by Carson-Newman, trying to bait Basabi into a mistake when he comes out of his net there. He's got to be careful.
Definitely using that high press now they've gone 1 goal down.
The pressure was pretty strong before the goal, but now I agree with you. It's been turned up even more.
I think they're wanting to get that equaliser before the first half ends.
The tie game at the intermission does feel a lot better than down 1 on the road. We will have Gary Higgins at halftime, by the way. Just have received my confirmation, so stick around for that after halftime. Or after halftime begins. The second half is after halftime.
During halftime.
There's the word, during halftime. Delgado comes flying in and gets whistled. This referee is really holding court here. I still can't get over the fact that he carded that Montano play
No, I don't really understand
when he
that.
didn't card the one before.
I mean, I did miss the challenge, but I don't really get it. Why? If you're going to not card the challenge,
It's got to be the same.
beforehand, keep
Either
some
card them both or
consistency.
card neither. And I was good with either one, but it's got to be the same. So Montano's got to be careful now. And he likes to play physical on that left back. Here he is on the ball here. And stays with the Eagles. And King will take it, telling him to move closer to the goal. This ball's up and towards the net, but Basabi right there as Karsh was bearing down. And down is a Bear. It's Montano. Clock stops with 12:41 to go here in the opening half. Miguel helped up by Basabi and Fernandez. And Juan picks it up at the edge of his box off the drop. Crowd's trying to make themselves known here. A lot of the women's team has returned now.
It's always a good atmosphere being the second game that's played with the women's team out here as well, cheering them on.
Especially after a win for the women.
Exactly.
And a couple of subs coming in for the Eagles. Maybe. A little bit of a mulligan there by Stephen Lyons, the head coach, as Harry Whitehead comes off.
Entering for Carson-Newman, number 14, Myris Updahl. Exiting number 5, Harry Whitehead.
Marius Updahl comes in.
The Norwegian forward.
It's a good variety of international players for Carson-Newman.
Very good variety of international players.
Yeah.
And am I right in saying that the majority, I mean, pretty much all of the American players are from Tennessee? Or am I reading the sheet wrong?
You are reading it correctly. Carson-Newman obviously is in Tennessee, so that makes sense.
You'd think they'd have a few more out-of-state players. I can only find one American, which is outside of Tennessee.
There's one from South Carolina, one from Oregon, but those are the two. Colby Dorn comes from Piedmont, South Carolina, but the rest look to be Tennessee. One from Statesville, NC, which is right down the road from us here in Hickory, towards Winston-Salem. Here's a run to the corner. What a tackle there
Good
by
challenge.
Bohiguis. Nico, the reigning SAC Offensive Player of the Week, doing it on defense. But the LR international contingent almost exclusively from Spain.
Exiting number 10, Tylen Silva.
As Matos Maya comes on from Rio de Janeiro. Good tackle there by Xavi Moya. This ball is in, and Montano heads it out. He's so good with his head. Has the most control, I think, of anyone on this Bear team with his head. Now a run with Harry Rowe. Fernandez might be up there in that argument as well. Less than 10 to go. At this point, Jacob, you think the strategy for LR the last 9:43 here is defense instead of offense? You want to keep a 0 on the board heading into the intermission?
Yeah, you do. You do want to obviously not concede in this last section of this half, but also you can't go too defensive now. Obviously, you don't want to be throwing everyone forwards, but you want to be still attacking. Otherwise, you're just inviting pressure, and eventually you're going to crack. Like the motto goes, the best form of defense is attack. And if you just keep inviting the team onto you, eventually they're going to get one or two decent opportunities.
You've got so many of those just golden sayings.
Just Nike.
Oh, here's Cascone who's onside. Carson-Newman misplayed it. Victor's in and it's stopped.
Well, that's a good save.
Karsgarin comes out of his box and saves the day for Carson-Newman.
Makes himself big.
And a foul on LR, but if Carson-Newman can come ahead in this game, look to that play right there as a huge reason why. Because Cascone beat the defender and didn't have the greatest angle as the other defender caught up to him fairly quickly, but that was really Karsgarin's only play, and He made it.
One-on-one with the 6'7" wall.
The great Dutch wall. Wears number 77, too, which I love. That's like a left tackle number.
He's got to have some connection to it. You don't just get given them numbers randomly.
A left tackle, Jacob, is on the offensive line in American football.
Over my head.
I figured that's why I needed to explain it. Benny Genizer comes on. He's going to be a burst of energy here for the Bears. They give Rowe a spell to give Harry some rest. He does all the running on this wingback side here, so Jack Winter gets him out. Gives him the last 7.5 and then the intermission to rest up for the second half. It's senior night for Benny, his last regular season home match here at Moretz. That ceremony happening after the game tonight.
Since Chavi Moyer's come back into this squad, it's allowed Carlos Monteleo-Lobo to just have that a bit more freedom in midfield in possession. It allows him to get up the pitch a little bit further. When Chavi was missing, Carlos couldn't quite go as further up the pitch as he would like, I don't think. But it just gives him that freedom to create.
Chavi's just a very versatile player, too.
Oh, he gives you a lot of security in that sort of defensive midfield role. He's very vocal as well. On set pieces, when the Bears are defending, he's very vocal.
It's a big personality, Chavi is. There's a slip by the defender, maybe another chance here for Cascone. Nice job defensively there by Carson-Newman. I think that was Eric Schmutzer out there who slipped, but then made up the ground as Victor's first touch wasn't completely clean. Five and a half to go here before halftime.
I do think in the second half this would be a good game for Jaheim Smith to get involved with.
Assuming Jaheim is healthy, he had a little foot/ankle issue.
Ah, okay.
So I'm not sure he's available tonight. He may be.
Well, if he is, this would be an ideal game for him because you've seen that the Bears have used that pace sometimes down that central position, and when they have, like we saw with Cascone when he was one-on-one with the keeper, it's worked. And Jaheim's is a quick guy. Very quick.
And Jack Winter has nothing but glowing things to say about the freshman, Jaheim Smith. Posa leaves it for Monteleo-Lobo smoothly. And now back to Posa, but coming out again is Karsgarin. Look at that just mound of a man throwing that ball down the sideline. Carson-Newman on their 4-game winning streak has only given up a pair of goals, one against Newberry, another against Coker, but beat Lincoln Memorial 4-0, 3-1 over Newberry, 3-1 over Coker, 2-0 over Limestone, who beat the Bears here. Limestone's a good club.
That's credit to them defensively as well. Shows how hard they are to score against, which is even more of a positive for the Bears to take out this first half.
And Carson-Newman, that goal that Danny Fernandez scored was only the 10th goal Carson-Newman has conceded the entire season.
That's crazy.
He had allowed 9 coming in. There's a foul there on the Eagles. Carlos draws it. So Jaime Poza will take this one just inside the circle. G9s are behind him. Referee sorting a bunch of things out. Back beyond, and now the whistle, and here it comes. Jaime boots it in. Here goes Fernandez. They run those set pieces for him. They've got a couple of goals off of them the past couple of weeks, but that one wasn't meant to be. That one booted away there by Bohiguis. Carson-Newman trying to get a couple of pushes here before the half. We're less than 2.5 to go before then.
I'm hoping for a day full of wins. Win for Liverpool, win for...
Liverpool winner today.
Yeah, against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Then obviously the Lady Bears winning. Just need the men here to finish off the trio.
I'm still riding high from my Spartans on Saturday.
Yeah.
Took down the arch rival, Michigan. There's no bigger game in that state.
Did they beat him by a significant amount?
No, it was very close at the end. There's a shot, a little bit wide off the foot of Carson-Newman, but you know, it was a comeback. We were down in the second half and came back to win at the very end. Very exciting.
It's always more exciting than just absolutely thrashing a team.
Other than the stress of falling behind.
Oh, yeah. That's what makes it enjoyable, though.
Speak for yourself. It's a battle there. The thing about Carlos Montoya-Lobo is that he's not a big guy. I mean, he's 5'7", 140 pounds, probably soaking wet. But he consistently wins balls from guys that are much bigger than him.
And when he does win them, he keeps possession well because he has that low center of gravity. And you see it with a lot of the smaller players. They can just nifty move their way between the opposition, and they can draw free kicks quite easily as well.
Marius Updahl offside there as we're under 30 seconds to go before halftime. Don't forget we got Gary Higgins coming up, women's soccer coach for LR, to talk about his team's win coming up in 20 seconds and counting. So Basabi way out of his box in the last 10 of the first half. Pops it away. And that takes us to the intermission. Danny Fernandez opens the scoring. And the Bears hold on to a 1-0 lead at halftime. We'll take a short break and come right back with LR women's soccer head coach Gary Higgins right after this. Halftime here in the men's soccer game between Lenoir-Rhyne and Carson-Newman. Bears hold a 1-0 lead over the Eagles, and I'm happy to be joined by head women's soccer coach Gary Higgins, as Bears fresh off a big 3-2 regular season capping win over Carson-Newman. And Coach, I mean, that flurry of 3 goals in about a 15-minute stretch in the first half, that was as good as you guys have looked offensively, I think, maybe even all season.
Yeah, no, to be fair, Coach Carlos on the bench said that the same thing, that we looked really hungry and aggressive and playing on the front foot there. And like I mentioned to you in the post-game interview, that it's what we needed. We needed just to play on the front foot, and sometimes it doesn't have to be pretty soccer, but it has to be hungry and effective soccer.
So, I mean, it was Kara Gavigan that kind of, she got the credit with the goals, but I thought that Ali Zuger was phenomenal offensively too the whole night.
Yeah, and Ali Zuger, we lost to Wingate 1-0, but I'm telling you, her performance that night,
yeah,
so proud of her. all the way up into the final whistle when she was over here and they were trying to hold the ball in the corner, and she said, no, not here. And she sprinted over. That kind of thing is infectious and much needed at this time of the year. But she's playing every game right now as if it's her last, and now we're at the stage where it could be, so she knows that, and really, really proud of her work rate.
And obviously such a big deal to get a home game and not have to travel on the first round of the SAC tournament, and that's what you guys did with that win. So what does this week kind of look like? Because you'll know tomorrow, I think, because tonight's the last night of the regular season. You'll know tomorrow who's going to be coming in here. But
yeah, no, we found out already, so we play Limestone.
Okay.
So yes, we're really happy with a home game, but there's a really, really good team coming in, and Limestone have a good record and are very competitive and well coached and have some really good players. So we managed to beat them 3-2 here at home earlier on.
That was a barn burner. I remember that game.
It was a really competitive game. So we'll be ready for that. The next 2 days is just rest, recover, get organised a little bit defensively and practice on Friday probably, and then be ready to play on the front foot and give those seniors one last game on this amazing field.
And I know that Rhea didn't play tonight, but I thought Anna Schuler in her place was awesome. And obviously, you guys were in a penalty kick situation, and that's normally Rhea time. And Leone Proessel, a freshman in a must-win game, you put her in that position, and she rewarded that faith.
Yeah, so obviously it's never nice to lose. Let's be honest, Rhea's probably our best player, and it's never nice to lose a player. But it's a team game, and other people have to step up. And we're just so proud this year because, yes, we have some super seniors and people coming back, but we have had 5 freshmen start most games. And these are freshmen that are stepping right in. And sometimes, like Kate Casey.
She was awesome tonight, too.
The best player on the field. And we're just so proud of. But like you said, Anna Schuler stepped in, and number 13 for Carson-Newman is a really good player, and she's caused a lot of teams problems, but especially second half, she didn't get in behind Anna Schuler much. And it's not easy stepping into these big conference games as a freshman, and these girls are doing it and looking as if they've been doing it for a while.
So Gary Higgins and the Bears against Limestone here on Saturday afternoon in the first round of the SAC Conference Tournament, looking to defend your title. It's got to be cool. Last question, it's got to be cool to have a chance to defend it just, 6-7 months after you won it back in April.
Yeah, like I mentioned to you, this is an opportunity for us to do something that's never been done before. And let's be honest, it may never happen again.
Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I hope we don't have to play after a pandemic again. But we're just excited for this opportunity. And now it's if we can take one game at a time, and every game here on out, the teams deserve to be here. So we are ready for a challenge. And that first challenge is Limestone on Saturday, probably 5 o'clock, and we're just excited for another chance to play.
Should be a fun one. Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck. Gary Higgins and the Bears at home against Limestone on Saturday in the SAC tournament opener. Halftime is about 10 minutes from being over here in Game 2 tonight on the Bears Sports Network.
Thanks, Eric. Go Bears.
This once-in-a-generation project will give student athletes an advantage and position Lenoir-Rhyne as a leader in academics and athletics.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Emergencies don't wait. Get to the hospital. Accidents happen. Get well soon. When it hurts to move forward, tackle your pain. Don't make your health wait. See your doctor. Your health means everything.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Doesn't matter who you are, Everett has you covered. Proud sponsor of the LR Bears.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work, introducing True Energy infrared technology socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back here on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. Final half of our doubleheader tonight between Lenoir-Rhyne and Carson-Newman. Bears got the first goal of this one from Danny Fernandez in the first half. Eric Bach and Jacob Parkinson, thanks for spending part of your Wednesday night with us, the final night of the SAC regular season. This conference tournament play begins this upcoming Saturday. There will be at least one game here at the Moret Sports Complex as the LR women will host Limestone. Bears trying to get a home game as well. LR's securely in the tournament, just looking to maintain a top 4 seed. Carson-Newman, the regular season champion, has already locked down the 1 seed. Not a good pass there from Delgado to Bohiguis.
I think Jack Winter will have been happy at halftime with how his team performed in that first half. Obviously, they got the goal, which has put them in front, but they look pretty solid defensively as well. And we've got Harry Rowe back on that left-hand side.
Yep, he came off with about 7.5 to go in the first half, but he's just got so much running to do. It's almost impossible to keep up for all 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So he gets the extra 7.5-minute break, and then obviously the 15 minutes of halftime.
It's a substitution we see almost every game, and then I think it'll be Nico Bohigues to go off next for Benny Gienizer, if I was to predict.
Carson-Newman's actually outshot LR in this game 7-3, but only 1 shot on goal. The Bears have 2 shots on goal, and one of them found the back of the net off the foot of Fernandez, as Carson-Newman's not able to control that one, and it ends up a goal kick for the Bears. There's Juan Basabi. Stopped both shots he faced directly in the first half, but played a pretty good game coming out of his box and doing what he needed to do to set the defense for the Bears. Cascone had a couple of good chances. You know that he's really wants to bury one in his final regular season home game, being honored after the game for senior night, as are 5 other seniors, including, in addition to Cascone, so 6 total seniors. Here's a shot in, and Basabi not able to stop it, but it goes wide.
He went with the scorpion kick as well, just didn't manage to get quite the connection on it.
Harry Whitehead, the one just narrowly missing, tying the game up for Carson-Newman.
That would have been some goal, that.
Whitehead from Oxford. Looked pretty good to me.
He was going for the spectacular, and he wasn't far off.
Not a good touch there for Cascone, but pokes it away. Carson-Newman's got the throw-in right here in front of us. The big keeper, Karsgarin, comes out. I'm going to have to go down there after the game and stand next to him just to see how my 5'10" measures up to him.
I mean, you look small in comparison to him. Very small.
And I'm slightly bigger than you, so.
I'm 5'9".
The two of us together are one of him, just about.
5'9" with my heels on.
Nico Bohiguis here on the near side, reigning SAC Offensive Player of the Week. Ball gets batted back to the Eagles. It's Miguel Montano, who got a yellow card in the first half. Basabi close again. He's really playing with fire there, as Whitehead especially has put the most pressure on him, and there's a turnover for the Bears. But it's turned right back by Fernandez.
He does like playing it risky, Basabi.
Doesn't he? I almost think he's got a flair for the dramatic. Tries to make things even more interesting than they need to be.
I reckon he's a bit bored back there. He likes to make a little Makes it a little bit more interesting for himself.
Not sure his head coach shares the sentiment of being thrilled with when he does that sometimes, but on the near side, Daniel Venisland, freshman from Norway. There's a centering pass that, again, Fernandez turns away. The Bears have shown that they can play both types of games, high scoring and low scoring this year.
They have, but like I've said in the past, they've sometimes shown that frailty at the last 5 minutes or so when they've had such a good game and then they just throw it away defensively in that last 5 minutes.
Tonight is not the night for that, because Carson-Newman has already shown here in the second half that they more than capable of getting good chances even at the slightest let up for LR defensively.
And Carson-Newman have had the majority of the possession in this half already, in this 7 minutes or so that's gone. But they've not created too many chances. They've had that one with I've forgotten his name now.
Harry Whitehead.
Yeah, Harry Whitehead. But they've not created too many chances.
Silva's been pretty much held in check. Leading scorer on this team, Tylan Silva from Brazil, as Basabe, again, doesn't just pick it up right away. Takes a touch himself, as Silva's bearing down on him right there. You see the two of them together, now having some words with each other. Silva's just not happy with the pace in which Basabe is playing with, but Basabe has every right to take his time and assess things, but I would imagine that the deficit is a little frustrating for Tylan.
I agree with what you were saying about Silva before. I would say Whitehead's been the best player for Carson-Newman.
I wholeheartedly agree with that as well.
I've not seen too much coming from Silva so far, but I say that, and there's players like him only need one or two opportunities, and they'll change the game.
Throw-in goes long in from Rowe. Delgado couldn't get a good swing on it. Didn't have enough time to really let it settle.
No, and I think if he had left it for Poser, he would have had a better opportunity, but I don't know whether he called for it or not.
Poser's got it now. And now Jaime DeManuel back for Bohiguez. Assist on the Jaime DeManuel game winner against Chowan a couple of games ago. Scored the first one on Saturday night against Wingate. Now a little give and go with the two Jaimes, Poser and DeManuel. Cascone in the middle.
Harry Rowe wants it out wide.
Wasn't a great pass for Montaleo Lobo, but now he centers it in. Poser was there, but it gets turned away by Carson-Newman. Good challenge there by Bohiguez to win that one right in the center circle. Back to the Bears.
I would say in the first half, for me, I was most impressed with Carlos Montaleo Lobo. I thought he played really well in that first half. He held up possession well, and he put a few good passes through as well. And like you said in the first half, he's not the tallest guy, and he manages to win the possession back from the other team.
Especially from guys that are significantly bigger than him.
Exactly.
Which is a lot of the people. Ball back to the near side here. On the move is Nick Karsh. Back to Whitehead, and now Karsh runs it down to the corner. Maybe a center coming. Surrounded by white jerseys. And a little bit of a dive taken there by Karsh, but he gets the whistle. So Silva will take it. Need a good ball from him here if you're Carson-Newman. Here it comes, and it's over. And a goal kick coming for LR. But Fernandez is just so difficult to get around in a situation like that. We have something happening with the linesman there on the far side. He held his flag up, and I think the goal came off the spot there. All those bodies flying at it. Got jarred loose a bit. And now a chance for Jaime Poza. Chips it over! It's 2-0! Jaime doubles the lead with a gorgeous finish.
That was a great ball through, and then to have the composure to chip the keeper from the edge of the box. What a finish by Jaime Poza. Back to front in a matter of seconds, and that's exactly what the Bears needed to do. The second half has become a lot more difficult now for Carson-Newman. 2 goals down.
Jaime gets his second goal of the year. And how about that for LR?
You've got to be so confident to try that, to try and lob the keeper from the edge of the box, especially a keeper of 6'7".
And I think that Karsgarin kind of just conceded it once he saw how it was ending up.
There's not much you can do about them when they're placed like that.
Things a little bit more comfortable now for the Bears, but as you say, this lead is the least safe one in soccer.
That ball down the middle just cut them wide open, Carson-Newman. And that's exactly what the Bears needed to do. Sometimes they can just be playing it around that centre of the pitch, not really getting anywhere, just sort of stagnant balls to the side and backwards, whereas that one ball just sliced open the defence and created a brilliant opportunity.
It was a fantastic opportunity, and Jaime Poza and Danny Fernandez, 2 guys that have had many scoring opportunities throughout the year and just had poor luck to not find the back of the net. But now, today, they both get one. And the Bears lead is 2 here with just over 30 to go.
The Bears did exactly the right thing after they went 1 up. They didn't sit back and defend that lead. Like I said in the first half, I think that would have been a mistake. But Jack Winter's side, they've carried on attacking. They've not been too aggressive. And they've come up with the second goal. I think that's a lot more of a beneficial way to play rather than just sitting back and inviting that pressure.
And now defensively, offside there was Karsh for Carson-Newman. But defensively now, does it change at all for you, Jacob, if you're the Bears? I mean, obviously a 2-goal lead. The Bears tonight, I think, have been fairly aggressive defensively and maybe taken a few risks that could have gone against them, but they haven't. I don't know if anything changes or if you just kind of keep on keeping on if you're LR.
For the Bears' point of view, I don't think anything changes. I think Carson-Newman now, you can almost guarantee that they're going to push a few more players forwards. They're going to take more risks, which is going to open them up on the other end of the pitch. So if the Bears can just keep playing as they're playing, keep being solid defensively, and then catch Carson-Newman on the counter-attack, they should have more room and more space there to exploit, really, because you'll think they'll be pushing more players forwards now.
This is not an LR team that anyone wants to play right now.
Not at home, anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Moret Stadium's a fortress at the minute.
.29:15 to go. I can't get over just the finesse and touch that Poza had to put on that ball to get it over the 6'7" Karsgarin.
It's a lot more difficult than it looks at that chip.
And now maybe a turnover here, Cascone was right there. But either way, it ends up a counter here for Carson-Newman. Whitehead, who has been...
Good tackle.
Fernandez
very good tackle.
Swipes it from him. Now a physical play on the ball there by Kranz.
The Bears will be hoping to get their second clean sheet in a row.
And end this 3-game homestand, allowing just 1 goal to Chuan.
That's a good stat to have if they can see this game through now.
That was just a week ago. 2-1 overtime win over Chuan, who at the time was number 20 in the country. 2-0 over Wingate. Their two biggest rivals to end the season, Wingate and Carson-Newman, to be able to shut both of them out. Obviously a long way to go tonight. Still 27.5 and change against a really good Carson-Newman team. So certainly a clean sheet tonight is anything but guaranteed. But if they were able to do that against your two big rivals and then the number 20 team in the country to end the regular season, I can't think of much more momentum heading into the postseason if you're the Bears.
No. Nico Bahiguez is wide open on this right-hand side.
They look for him and get it to him. Nico gets denied that time by Carson-Newman. Delgado able to get a foot on that one in front of Whitehead. This is Daniel Venesland on the ball for Carson-Newman. 26 even to go. 1 goal in each half for LR. Fernandez in the first, Poza in the second.
And going back to that Poza goal, was Was that a Basabi assist?
I sure think it was. So we talked about Karsgarin having an assist on a goal earlier. Here's maybe an assist. Bohiguis stopped by Karsgarin.
And he just wanted to cut it across the keeper, put it on his right-hand side.
Yep.
Our left, but it was easy enough for the keeper. Keeper's left.
Yeah, if he might have had a little bit more real estate if he tried to go to the other post.
Yeah, exactly. Cutting it across the keeper's body, it would have been a tricky one for him to save.
Take a look at the Spangler replay, but a great stop by Karsgarin there. All replays presented by our friends at Spangler Restoration, but a corner coming up for the Bears, and Poza will take it. Jaime sends the ball in. Montano off of him and a goal kick. Feels like the first one has to come soon if you're Carson-Newman, if they want a chance to come back tonight.
Exactly. And they'll know themselves. They don't want to get too desperate and then give away another goal. But really, what do they have to lose? They've, like you say, they've got their seed in already.
They do. They have locked in the number 1 seed in the SAC tournament. However, for NCAA tournament purposes, this still is a big game for them to boost their at-large chances if they were not to win the SAC tournament. So
if you're Carson-Newman here, you might as well go for it. You've got you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain, really.
You stole the words out of my mouth. Could not agree more. And if they give up another goal, so be it.
Exactly. It's not like they're going to get relegated or not get seeded, because they already are seeded.
They are number 1 in the tournament regardless of what happens tonight. But the Bears are playing like the team with more to gain with a win tonight. And right now are playing better than anyone in the SAC. Montaleo Lobo. Cascone, offside again. Oh, Victor's been right on the edge tonight. Would be so nice for him to get one on his senior night.
Would be a nice send-off at home.
The list of people that are accompanying him for his senior day is about 15 long. Just shows you the type of impact he's made, both on and off the field. Manuel cannot run it down. Ball back to Carson-Newman with 22.5.
Stresses me out seeing football boots on the track. Being a track runner.
It's a nice, fairly new track. I mean, 2019, I think that this track and complex was refurbished and rebuilt.
It's a very nice track.
You'll get your day, my friend.
Or football cleats, as you like to call them over here. Oh, not even football. Soccer.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
Maybe it's just better for you if you don't. You have to keep some of your Britishness. I don't know if that's a word.
I'll take it as a word.
You guys invented the English language, so I'll take it.
We invented it. You guys just butchered it.
Truer words have never been said. Good possession here for Carson-Newman on the far side. See if they can cut into this 2-goal lead. There's a long shot. Basabi up to the challenge. Doesn't give up the rebound. Able to keep it close to him. Wasn't really too much of a threat around him, but even if there was, I think he would have been safe.
And you can see how big Carson-Newman's team is. It looks like they've got all of the substitutes out warming up. Maybe that's just because it's cold
Probably because
today.
they're freezing cold like me. It's a center that gets blocked by Montano. He's played well tonight. Can't really think of a Bear that hasn't, but there are a few that stick out defensively. Fernandez and Montano are two of those. Bohiguis has played a good defensive midfield as well. Still stays with the Eagles. There's a foul on Carson-Newman for a grab. Harry Rowe was trying to possess that one. And a yellow, wow. Going on Wingate, or excuse me, Carson-Newman got the rivals on the mind. Not sure who on. With 20:10 to go. One yellow each now. Try to figure out who that was on for Carson-Newman. Might have been on Tim Verselli. Number 21. Junior defender from Germany.
Just under 20 minutes left now. And the Bears have played this very well, I think, so far.
Yeah, it's been a good, as Karsh slips and falls there and gives the ball back to LR. It's been a good mix of offense and defense, though, in the second half for the Bears.
Yeah, I think Nico Bohigues has had a good second half in that right wing-back position. He's looked dangerous sort of offensively and defensively as well. He had that one shot that stung the palms of the keeper, and like I said, he's also managed to keep him out on the other end of the pitch as well.
Stung the palms. Love that. I don't know if I've ever heard that before.
Oh, you have now.
Bohiguis again. Maybe he can sting some more palms. To the goal. Montalia Lobo. Cascone. Oh, he chipped it over. Oh, I was ready to say he's got one on senior night, but it's maybe just not meant to be tonight for Victor. That's two open nets. First one was a little more difficult than that one.
I would have bet my mortgage on it.
I would have bet the mortgage as well that Victor buries this. Oh, man. He just got too juiced up, I think. Oh, goodness. Yeah, we would both be broke if we were betting on Victor putting that one in. 99.9, not even 99, 99.9 times out of 100 Victor does that, and Carson-Newman just found the .1. Goodness gracious. They give the ball back to Carson-Newman, much to the displeasure of the Bear bench. Jaime Poza with a ton of room.
Here's Bohigues on the right-hand side again.
Oh, great defensive play there to cut off the passing lane by Carson-Newman's Theo Hardenby-Orwall.
It's a foul by Harry Rowe on that left-hand side.
Jack Winter is not happy with the call. Here's a ball chipped in and over off of Whitehead. If there's anyone that's going to get one tonight for Carson-Newman, it's probably Whitehead.
You'd think so. He is looking good today. He's just not really had the service. Or when he has had the service, he has made a few decent chances. Just not quite managed to squeeze it in the back of the net yet.
Couple of subs for Carson-Newman. Yannick Schulte comes back in.
Crowd trying to pick up Cascone after that miss a few minutes ago.
Oh, he just hurt for him. It's senior night. A goal that if you throw me down there, I probably make.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Touché. There's a ball in. Karsgarin grabs it and throws it. Maybe the Carson-Newman American football team should recruit him to play quarterback.
Got a decent throw on him.
Probably better than the offense they're putting out there this year. Goodness gracious. Big old goose egg when the Bears went up to Johnson City, 59-0.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right? A proud Carson-Newman program. That is the opposite this year.
We just love doing it to our rivals. We took the win out of Wingate recently.
Yeah, it's like we've outscored Wingate and Carson-Newman like 95-6 this year combined. Bears are getting hot at the right time. I'm excited. I'm doing their game this week at Barton, which should be a challenge for them. It's more my realm. We're in your realm right now. Under 15 to go. And here's Whitehead. Basabi stops it, and offside was Carson-Newman, so it wouldn't have counted either way.
Just managed to get it through the legs of the defender there and caught a bit flat-footed. Luckily, there was no real delivery into the box after that.
And is that Harry Rowe down there? Looks like maybe just a cramp. He's sitting up as trainer Allie's on her way out. Harry will come off, but looks to be just a little bit nicked up.
And on will come Benny Genizer.
Probably should end Harry's night. Got to have him fresh for the conference tournament.
Yeah, I don't think Jack Winter will risk anything now. He's a big player for the team.
14 minutes even to go. As Harry makes his way off. Benny comes on senior night. Coming up after we're through. Victor, he's got another chance. Oh my goodness, it's a curse. This is just silly at this point.
Oh, no.
Oh, Victor. We love you, man. Sorry it's not going your way tonight.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It was on his weak foot.
That was easily the most difficult one of the night. And I'm going to give him a pass on the first one, too, because of the speed in which it got on him.
Yeah, he did have to had to move his leg very, very quickly to it. It would have probably been better putting it in with his torso, but...
Yeah, but it was too quick.
It was a split-second decision. No time to think about what he had to do.
Now, the second one, on the other hand, not sure we can come up with anything for that one.
I really thought after the second goal we would have seen a more offensive Carson-Newman side. But
They had a few minutes of really strong attack.
And there he is again, Nico Bahiguez.
He has been such a bright spot for the Bears over this homestand. Now Benny Jean eyes are on the opposite side. Big possession there for Benny.
Out to Benny again. You have to cut it onto his right foot.
He does. It's blooped in and over the head of everyone. But Bahiguez rams into Karsh and gets the whistle. Just over 11 to go. Karsh just drew the foul, turns it over. 1-7 gives it up to another. Jaime Poza takes it. Jaime's got the second goal for LR. Victor Cascone has been more offensive-minded tonight than maybe I've ever seen him, with his positioning at least. He's been up front of the Bear attack, almost like Tiefel was when he was still playing every day.
And you said earlier we might see Tiefel at the weekend?
Possible, yes. We'll see. That one's deflected. The corner coming for the Eagles off of Montaleo Lobo there. So we're under 10 to go.
And it looks like I might be getting my trio of wins that I wanted today. Liverpool, Bears men's, Bears ladies.
Are you declaring that?
I think I am.
Oh boy. 9.5 minutes is quite a while to declare that, but I hope you're right.
If not, I'll be having words with Jack Winter tomorrow.
He'll be having words with you, more like. Ends up a goal kick. That is not a conversation I would want to be on the bad end of, let me tell you.
I've never spoken to him, but he seems like a pretty scary guy.
He is the nicest man you'll ever find, but when he is intense, he is as intense as they come.
Yeah. I think that makes a good manager, though. Or coach.
Yes, and he's very, very kind and soft-spoken man off the field, but when it's time to turn it up, he does.
Exactly, you've got to have that mix.
Good move there by Bahiguez to go back to Basabi. Carson-Newman takes it. How nice would it be to have the scenario we talked about earlier? This ball is deflected off the Bears, but it is a corner as Basabi's not able to save it on the end line. To be able to play number 20 Chuan and then your top two rivals, Wingate and Carson-Newman, at home to end the season and to have two clean sheets against your two rivals. I mean, There's not a better way to end the regular season than that.
Perfect scenario. And like I said, when the Bears beat Chowan, I think it was about a week ago now, it was a huge confidence boost for them. I think they needed that coming into these two big rivalry games. And I think that's what has got them over the line, that confidence, because they were lacking that from that run of away games that we mentioned before.
Jack Winter told me that he's not worried about his team getting up for these types of games. Like, these games speak for themselves. It's the Newberries on the road and the Tusculums on the road that have the Bears. Those are the situations that the Bears have struggled in this year, and they've lost and drawn a couple of games they shouldn't have. Or maybe we're talking about the Bears being the regular season champions, or maybe this game would have been for the conference championship had a couple of things swung the Bears' way on the road in that most recent stretch.
You see that quite a lot in soccer. Teams G themselves up for these big games, and they get hyped and they get excited and they're ready for them, whereas the other games where they just sort of expect to steamroll the other team,
a little bit of a
don't quite
sleepwalking
go to plan.
performance, especially against Tusculum. That was maybe the one that stuck out the most. Tusculum didn't win a league game this year, and the Bears only could take a draw. Now, the game was at Tusculum, and that's a long drive, and it was on a Sunday. I mean, a lot of external factors were kind of pushing against the Bears there, but Jack Winter and the players will be the first to tell you that they have to rise above that, and certainly this last week, this is certainly looking to be a 3-0 week on win on Wednesday, Saturday, and then again on Wednesday. That certainly has kind of righted itself. But when you're dealing with 18 to 23-year-old athletes, it's not always going to be perfectly consistent.
No, exactly. They're still developing athletes, like you say. Still need to sort of mature and get used to it, but the performance they put in recently is they've been second to none.
Get into the mentality of an every night thing as opposed to just getting up for games like this.
Exactly. Every game's a must-win.
Yep. And obviously, now that this is the regular season finale, it's win or go home after this. I mean, the Bears still have a great chance at an at-large bid in the NCAA if they don't win the SAC tournament, but obviously the winner of the SAC tournament automatically qualifies and will have a good seed. So that's something. Obviously, the Bears this season have shown that they've been a really good team here in Moretz, whereas on the road they've been a bit shakier. So obviously the opportunity to play home games in the postseason is one that the Bears are certainly building towards at this point.
Definitely, like you mentioned, it was before that run of 3 away games. The Bears were playing all right away from home, I thought.
Yeah, they were. They beat Coker when Coker was ranked number 4 in the country. That was a Cascone winner in double overtime, and they took a good road win at Anderson, who Anderson is Carson-Newman's only league loss, and that was at Carson-Newman that game. So Anderson's certainly no slouch. Queens came in here and got thumped 5-1, but that was here. So Bears did really give away the Catawba game here, as that was a foul on Carson-Newman.
And is he holding his hamstring
Lobo. Earlier it was the ankle.
The ankle.
Maybe it's just a cramp, and now he's stretching out, but
he looks as if he's going to be okay. But it's a free kick against the Bears.
I don't know how that was possible.
See what happened there.
But that Catawba game, were you on that Catawba game with me, Jacob, when it was sideways raining and the Bears gave away that 2-0 lead?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. It was in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah. That was the only real letdown here at home the whole year.
And that's when them defensive frailties started to show in the last 5 minutes or so of the game. And there was a few of them games, maybe 2 or 3, where the Bears just gave away a goal in that last 5 minutes, and they've not done it in the last 3 or 4 games. And hopefully they keep up with that and they don't do it again today.
Well, they have 3:35 to not do it, as Basabi gets it. But it has been a certain, and I think the kind of ebb and flow of this Bears season has come with health, too. I mean, Basabi still wasn't healthy in that Catawba game. There were others. Montaleo Lobo was still out there. I think that was the game that he may have re-injured his groin and gone out and went out early in that one.
Good ball
Cascone.
over the top.
Jaime DeManuel in the corner. Pohiguis to Cascone. Leaves it back for Nico, and that ball almost goes into the net off a sliding shot.
I thought that might have been a corner off the defender, but
Nico's feeling himself right now, as he should be. But we say all of that conversation that we just had about the Bears season to say now that it's clear that this is head and shoulders better than they've been playing the entire year.
Oh, definitely. They've just created better chances in these last 3 or 4 games. At the beginning of the season and even mid-season, I just felt that they had the possession, but they weren't creating the chances. They were going backwards, sideways, and no one was really taking them runs off of the ball, whereas you see today they've taken more opportunities, they've made more chances. Yes, they've not all come off, but at least you're creating chances and making opportunities rather than having possession for possession's sake.
And I think that some of that just comes with cohesion. A lot of these guys, some of these grad students that transferred in, these international guys, the beginning of the season was the first time that they've ever played together, you know? I mean, obviously you had the core group of experience coming back with Cascone and Fernandez kind of headlining those. So we're under a minute and a half to go, and Carson-Newman looks like they've finally given up.
Yeah, I think they've accepted defeat at this point. They're just playing for pride. But what a big result for the Bears, you know, against the reigning champions.
Not the reigning champions, the current champions.
The current champions.
Yeah, they, before tonight, had already wrapped up the SAC regular season, which is a feat worthy of recognition in the quality of this league. Xavi Moya goes down.
And Carlos gets on his all fours again.
And down is that Xavi down? And Carson-Newman's bench is frustrated, which I get, but
they're not going to get 2 goals now.
At the same time, let's be a little realistic here.
Victor's more likely to score.
Oh, Jacob. You're going to have half the team after you.
Don't worry, I'm relying on them not watching the stream.
They watch, Jacob. They watch. They watch maybe more than anyone, because I always get little comments about things that we talk about. Now, I'm not sure that they're able to understand all of us, a lot of the guys, especially you and your English accent.
I'll just tell them it was a misunderstanding.
The dry humor is just killer. 20 seconds to go. And a foul there on Benny Genizer. And is a card coming? Just a programming note here. We will keep the stream rolling for the senior night ceremonies afterwards. Jacob and I will sign off and then leave it to the cameras to tell the senior day story. But that will be coming up next after this. So if you're wherever you are in the world right now, you will be able to see these senior night festivities that will happen in 14 seconds if we can ever get this thing rolling.
It's so nice to see them go out on a win as well. If they're going out on a loss, it doesn't quite have the same impact.
Nope. But the impact certainly huge as this ball's away. and wide. And that is going to end it. What a stretch. What a night. What a team. The Bears end the season with 2-0 decisions over Wingate and Carson-Newman, and will host a South Atlantic Conference tournament game here on Saturday afternoon. What a way for the seniors to go out. Bears take down the champions of the SAC tonight in convincing fashion, Jacob. This was no fluke tonight.
No, they played well start to finish. I thought they had a good game plan. They went one up. They didn't sit back. They weren't conservative. They carried on attacking, and they got the result they deserved in the end, I thought.
Absolutely. Danny Fernandez in the first half. Jaime Poza in the second. Plenty enough offense for a 2-0 win. For Jacob Parkinson and the rest of our crew, Eric Bach singing So Long from Moretz. Don't worry, we're sticking around for senior night. We're signing off, but we'll still have the video live for you. So senior night coming up. Bears end the season perfectly 2-0 over Carson-Newman.
Jack is accompanied by his parents, Denise and Tim. After LR, he plans to work at the National Park Service as an environmental scientist. His favorite LR soccer memory is all of the bus rides and away trips. Number 25, Jack Corrigan. Next up is number 11, Noah Tiefel. Noah is accompanied by Jaime Poza and Danny Fernandez. After After LR, Noah plans to start working in the sports management industry. His favorite LR soccer memories are winning against Coker in overtime this season and winning at home against Wingate last season. Number 11, Noah T-Fool. Next is number 8, Jaime de Manuel. Jaime is accompanied by Jaime Poza, Danny Fernandez, and Mauricio Hernandez. After LR, Jaime plans to stay in the U.S. and work in the business world. His favorite LR memories are winning games and having fun with his friends and seeing them happy. Number 8, Jaime de Manuel. Up next is number 2, Benny G-Nizer. Benny is accompanied by Jens Rossler, Brittany Marinelli, and Diego Delgado. After LR, Benny plans to start working as a project manager for an international production company. His favorite memory of playing soccer at LR is the overtime win at Barry in 2019 and the home victory over Wingate in the spring. Number 2, Benny G-Nizer. Next is number 21, Chris Murphy. Chris is accompanied by his parents, Denise and Mark. After LR, Chris plans on pursuing a career in mathematics, and his favorite LR memory is winning the SAC Conference Championship in 2018. Number 21, Chris Murphy. Last but certainly not least is number 10, Victor Cascon. Victor is accompanied by Carlos Matolio Lobo, Danny Fernandez, Jaime Poza, Noah T-Fool, Jaime de Manuel, Israel Ramirez Jr., and Hector Lodero. His plans after LR are still being figured out. He'll stay at least one more year in the U.S., and after that, he'll decide if he's going back to Europe, depending on job opportunities. He would love to keep playing soccer as much as he can, and he hopes to have a business-related job and maybe a second job coaching soccer. His favorite memory of playing at LR is difficult to pick. He's had so many great memories that he could not stop talking about them forever. Sharing a locker room with amazing human beings and soccer players made him grow on and off the field. From a shy freshman, unable to speak English properly, until becoming the senior that he is today. The most important part of playing for this program is the people he met and the friends he's made. All of his past and current teammates contributed to create the person he is today. He knows they will be there and to help him in the future, as he will be there for them as well. Number 10, Victor Cascon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's have one more round of applause for your 2021 LR Men's Senior Class.